Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to be making a ladder card for Finn's first birthday card, and I hope you'll stay tuned. Well, if you don't know by now, Finn is my great nephew, and he just turned one. Well, he's going to turn one March 23rd. So I'm making a card for him, and it's going to be something that Sam Calcott did on her channel, and I'm going to make a little bit different for mine. You're going to start out with a piece of cardstock. It is 9.5 inches by 6 inches. We're going to score it on the 9.5 inch side at 1 3/4 and at 7 3/4. Okay. Then we're going to have the steps of our ladder, and they are 5 inches by 6.5, 4 inches by 6.5, and 3 inches by 6.5, and 2 inches by 6.5. Now my 2-inch one, I took a very small, well, not very small, but small enough stamp. I got these at a garage sale. This is the number 1. That's the size of it. And I stamped it in a bunch of different colors on the 2-inch by 6.5 inch piece. This is going to be the front of our card. It's going to be like this. Anyway, and then I'm going to put more on the front, but that's my thinking on what I did there. Then you're going to score each of our layers at 1/4 inch. I'm just doing the back of this one because it's clearly has issues. And 6 1/4. Now sometimes it's hard to do these, and the one end, like if you're right-handed, sometimes it's harder to do the left side, and if you're left-handed, it's hard to do the right side. If that's the case, you're going to do each one of these the same measurements, 1/4 inch and 6 1/4. So let's say that you struggle with the 6 1/4 scoring. Turn it around and do it on the 1/4 inch if that is a problem for you. If you have a problem with the 1/4 inch, score both at 6 1/4. And you can just turn it around and score it there. For me, it's the 6 1/4 inch that's hard to do. Whoa! Jumped out of the track. Clearly when I said the one was hard to do, I was trying to make you believe one was, and it's really the other one. It's harder to do. Alright, so those are all the scores that we need to do. We're done. Well, I don't know. No, I guess we don't have to score this one. I am gonna, actually I'll do it, I'll show it to you on this. On your 6-inch measurement side, you're going to want to make a mark at 2 inches. And I'm going to do it in pencil. Let's see. If I turn it around, I'm at 4 inches. If you've never done this before, if you use your scoreboard, see I put this end in at 2 inches. In order to get this, when I turn this completely around, to get this to be at 2 inches, I need to score it at 4 inches because well, that's just how it works. When you turned it around, then it became in the opposite direction. Did that make sense? I hope it did. Then you're going to get your paper trimmer out. If you don't have a guillotine trimmer, these are the best for these kind of cuts. What you're going to do, hopefully you can see my little mark. Do you see that mark right there? What we're going to do, here is my score. I'm going to make them both big so you can see them. Or big. I'm going to use a pencil so you can see them. Hopefully, can you see that? Then that one. What you're going to do is you're going to put it into your guillotine trimmer. so that you line those two up so that you're going to cut out from this mark to this mark. You're going to get rid of that. We're going to do the same on this side. I'm going to make a mark again so you can hopefully see it. You see that? And we're going to put it in. If you can't see that, it's kind of hard to show it every once in a while. Takes me a minute. Okay. And then we're just going to erase our little marks. So we're going to get our bone folder. My bone folder is from Fiskars. They don't make it anymore, but you can find it on eBay. And I really like it because it's shaped like a club. And for me, the other ones don't have enough, I don't know what we'll call it. There's not enough room for my finger. That's what we're going to say. I need room for my finger, for gosh sake. I'm just going to make sure I do that. It's not looking very pretty right now. I'm going to fold those so they're on the inside. Those little marks that I couldn't erase very well. All right. Then we're going to do the same with each of our pages that we've cut. Now this is the tricky part about these. When you use cardstock that's thicker, and I really like Michael's Heavyweight cardstock for projects where I need to have it stand up. This will fold flat. This whole card will fold flat when it's done. But each one of these needs to have, it needs to be able to be standing at 90 degrees upright. And sometimes it's hard to get 1/4 inch scores to do that. So I'm just telling you, if you use a thicker cardstock like I used, you will have to kind of watch that because it's tricky. Now, a lot of people use wet glue for this. I would rather use tear tape and wet glue when I'm doing a project like this, just because I feel like I will have a better result in the end. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start with my biggest one. I'm going to put tear tape from, maybe you can see it better if I put it up against the green. I'm going to put my tear tape so that it's right up to the score line, but doesn't go over the score line. So you're doing it from the edge of your, ooh, I'm a little bit wonky here. Jeepers creepers, Sandy, get in the card. So when you put your tear tape on it, you want it so that, it's easiest to show it on this piece because it's blank. You want it to be on the front of your piece if you've got any kind of writing, or if you've already added some monsters, or I'm doing monsters on mine because his birthday theme is the Monsters Inc. movie. And although I don't have any actual monster stamps from that movie, I have monster stamps. And for those of you who've been with me for a long time and know about me getting a scan and cut, and that I was never going to open it until I clean my craft room, I finally broke down after a year. I know it's embarrassing. I got it for Christmas a year ago, and a week ago Rich and I finally unboxed it, put it up, and I used it to cut my monsters out. So I'm happy to say that worked really well. Okay, so what we're going to start with is we're going to go in size order from the biggest size to the smallest size. And we'll take off our backing. And the other thing that's important to note is that I'm not decorating this until everything is put together. So if you were wondering if I'm just going to have some plain white cards here, no, I'm not gonna. But I am going to have white plain card when I start, which is now, right? Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of wet glue because, as you know, I like to have the ability to pick it up if I need to. I put a different kind of glue in here. I don't even remember what kind I put in, but I like this container. Okay, here's how we're going to do it. You're going to line this up with the bottom on your left side. You're going to take the bottom, making sure, like that. See how I've lined up this side seam with the opened flap? Then you're going to close it down. Make sure that it's well adhered, and then you've got that piece attached. We're not going to play with this side at all until we've got everything on the left side attached. Same thing. You're going to open this back up. You're going to lay your next one down, again, making sure you're lining it up with the bottom of your card. And shut that. And then our very last one, again, at the very bottom of the card, like that. Now I have all of them open, or I have the card open all the way. Don't know if you can see that. They're folded flat on the left side here. That's important because when we go to attach the right side, we need to have the left side flat. I'm going to put a little bit of wet glue on this one little piece that parts of these that I don't have tear tape in those spots. Okay, we're going to hold our left side flat, and then all we're going to do is we're going to put the right side onto our card, and then when you open it, it becomes a ladder. You need to make sure that both sides are really good at folding in on themselves. So like right now, I've got the left side closed. You want to make sure that the right side is folded down. So all sides are ready to roll, like that. You got it? So now our card is ready to be decorated. I have cut some strips that are I have to make sure I remember how big these are. I think they're 1 3/8. Yeah, they're 1 3/8 inches high and 5 3/4 inches long. And that's so we can save some space in when we go in to decorate. We're just going to lay them in like this. So let's start gluing these down. I'm using some Nuvo glue. And this paper I got from Joann's. It was in a pad that's from Park Lane, and it's, I gotta remember the name. I think it's something floral. Oh, it's something floral. That'll be easy enough to remember, huh? It's Floral Spice, in case you wondered. Now my very bottom ladder piece, I'm going to put some grass in, I think. I haven't decided. I'm going to make what looks like grass. Now, I didn't have paper that was exactly the same color as this polka dot paper. So I took an alcohol marker and colored the front and the back of this green color. If you've never seen these kind of shears, you use them for, I think they're made to cut herbs with, but you can also get them to use for making something that looks like grass. And I'm only going to cut down one length. And by one length, I mean as far as I think I want my scissors to go, because I don't want to end up having it so that I can't play with it without cutting off the bottom or ripping the bottom. So I want to make it sure that when I do this, I have enough room for that. So that's what it looks like right now. You can see the cuts in it. Let me tell you how long it is. It's about 5 7/8 inches long. And I wanted to make it so that I could put it like that. So I'm going to put my last row of polka dot paper in. Okay. So let's move something on our brass. I think the best way to do this is to use something round that isn't very wide. So I have this diamond tool, and I'm going to try to start just kind of rolling it a little bit. Keep in mind, it doesn't really need to be rolled a lot because we're not going to, it's not going to be sticking out of the paper that far. Sticking out of the card. There, now it made sense, huh? You're thinking to yourself, what's she talking about sticking out of the paper? I guess I'm better going from this direction. And I'm just going to continue to roll my little papers. I just want to make sure you understand what I'm going to, how far down I'm going to put this. So I'll show you as soon as I get the glue on it. I think you ought to be able to tell once you see this. See the glue on there? That's how far into behind the first row that we're going to stick that. And I'm going to hold it until it's attached. So there's that. Then I'm going to just kind of think about placement of these. This poor fellow, when the Scan and cut it, this piece was so thin that it, when I pulled it off the backing paper, it pulled off the antenna. So I think I'm gonna cut that antenna so that his antennas are kind of symmetrical. I'm just gonna set my monsters all over the place. I've got a lot of monsters. I want to make sure that my monsters don't make it so you can't see each other. I want to make sure that they're clearly visible. So what I wanted to do for the front of the card, or this part of the card, I took a 2-inch scallop punch, and then I had this little bear. My bugs came from Tim Holt's Entomology Bugs stamp set, and the monsters came from Ketzelcraft, and I think they're called Monsters. The last set that I got the bear and the happy birthday from is from Mama Elephant, and it's called SC0767. I don't know if it's just called Bunny and Bear Holding Sentiment. I don't know, but that's what I have. So I stamped and colored the bear, and then I put the number 1 in there. I should put an ST for first birthday, but you know my writing is horrible. Well, close enough. So I want to color this so that it matches my project. And the best way to do it is to either use alcohol markers or inks. So I thought I would try this turquoisey color. Keep in mind, I don't have to do the whole scallop, but I'm gonna anyway because that's how I roll. It's easier for me to do the whole thing. And then I'll see if I like that color, and if I don't, then we'll go on to the other blue, because, you know, why wouldn't we? I chose this because it's this color in the number ones. I'm going to flip it over and do the back with this other blue, because why shouldn't you? That way you know for sure which one you like better. We all can play along. Okay. These came from Paper Craft Society kits that I got from Craft Stash. Okay, what do you think of that one? I think I'm going to go with that one. I don't know why. I'm just doing it. So I'm going to put him up on some foam. I'm going to put my leaves right into, where did they go? Under here. I'm going to put them right into the back of my card. And we'll have to glue all of our monsters down. That's his birthday. Then let's glue some of these bad boys down. So there it is. When you want to put it in an envelope, mine won't go into an envelope flattened out because of the grass, but yours will. All you have to do is do that and it'll flatten out. So that is my ladder card. Oh, nope, forgot one more thing. On the back, you're going to need a piece to do your writing on. And this is, I think it's 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, but let me make sure. Yep, 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. I just used the rest of my green pad, the green speckled pad that I had for my for this, because I know I lose track of pieces of paper, and it was easy just to use it this way. This sentiment came from a Simon Says stamp set that I'll list below the video. I always have trouble remember what they are when I'm doing this, but I always list it below the video. As you know, I always give you the directions and where I got everything. Not affiliated with anyone, as you know, but I like to make sure I give you where I found the products I have, because in case you're interested in finding them, you want them, you can find them too. I think I'm going to cut down some of my grass, make them angled. I think I like it better now that it's not all the same height. The thing that'll be nice about this is, now that I've done this, I'll be able to, we'll be able to put it into an envelope. So here's Finn's ladder card for his first birthday. I wanted to tell you one thing before I finished, and that is, this is the month that you need to do the cards for Cubs. If you want to participate with me, it's giving cards to kids that are in foster care, and they look for encouraging cards and birthday cards. And I'm going to be doing a video, probably one of my next videos, showing you some of the cards I'm going to be making. And I talked to the people at Unity Stamps, and they said that they would promote it on their channel too. So I think that's nice. They have a lot of good encouragement sentiments if you're looking for those. And I just bought some stamps from them that I really liked. This one is the little mouse with the flower. I don't like that, but I like, it says, "You are wonderful." I love that. I love this little girl. It says, "You don't have to be perfect to be awesome." And I'll use that, "you don't have to be perfect to be awesome," on a lot of those cards. I really tend to like to make cards for the older kids because I think they probably don't have as many people making cards for them. It's easier to make cards for younger kids, and I think they're the ones that need the most encouragement, the older ones. Here's another one I got. This says, the most important thing a girl wears is her confidence. And I love the girl and the outfit. And this is the last one I got. It says, be open to whatever comes next. And it says, embrace the journey. And actually, the girl with the coffee mug, I wasn't sure if I was thrilled about the coffee mug, but I really liked be open to whatever comes next and embrace the journey. Because when you turn 18 and you are in foster care, you are, I think, exited out of the system. So if you have a kid that's 17 or coming up on their 18th birthday, I think they would need some encouragement because it would be kind of scary, I would think. But anyway, those are the ones I just bought from Unity Stamps. I really think their sentiments are among the best for encouragement. So anyway, that's my scoop. I hope you participate with me in Cards for Cubs. I think it's a really great organization that they're really trying to make a difference for these kids, and I hope you'll do it with me. So here is my card for Finn and my ideas of what I'm going to be using for Cards for Cubs. And I hope that you enjoyed this, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.